Okay, so the last part, I know we only have a few minutes left here, but the extraction phase, we don't go too much into detail about it for the class, just because it is so dependent on your review, depending on this. A lot of people, sometimes people will even export the references within the extraction phase. So to do that, you go into export and then select under stage. Actually, I think you do it, I'm sorry, I think you do it in your extraction phase itself. So some people will even just export all of the articles that are in this phase into an Excel file, and then they'll do their quality assessment and within their quality assessment and data extraction within Excel. But if you do want to use Covidence, so Covidence uses a quality assessment that is very similar to Cochrane, or it might even be the exact same Cochrane template. So you can import a new template into Covidence, but some people won't even, they'll just totally skip this step. So just something to note here. But this step is very similar. You'll have two different reviewers, and then there may be a third person who needs to review if there's a conflict. And so within each of these references, trying to look for one that allows me to go into there, you'll have your risk of bias assessment, and then you'll have your data extraction. So I always like to start with the data extraction first. You'll be able to see all the details, and you'll have to fill in all of these study details. And you can see this is very specific for randomized control trials with the interventions and things. So if this does not work for you, again, you can edit this, but you can also just export and use a totally different template depending on your needs. So you'll describe everything here, and then you'll go into quality assessment, where again, you will kind of do your risk of bias assessment here, and you'll be able to see the article on the left. And then it's not letting me review because unfortunately, two people have already reviewed this, but you will be able to kind of make a judgment on the, on a bias assessment here for this article. Once you are fully done with this phase, you can then export all of this information into different file types. Usually people use Excel, but you can use whichever file type you want, and then use that for your review. So you can do that here under extracted data, and then export it as a Excel. We also, within our Covidence guide, we do have a quality assessment section that kind of goes a little bit more into detail about this, and also talks about other quality assessment tools that you might find more useful for your specific type of review if you're not doing like a Cochrane review or something. So definitely check that out. If you do have any questions, again, about which tool is most appropriate for your systematic review, the librarians at Health Sciences Library can also help with that. The very last thing I do like to show is the Prisma diagram here. So Covidence will also keep track of all of your information with this lovely Prisma diagram. Unfortunately, when you go to export data, you can do that here. It does not export into this like super nice table that Covidence has, but you will be able to export all of this text box information. You can see it has how many studies you initially imported, and then it also even has it down to how many studies were excluded for certain reasons within your full text phase. If you do wish to use your Prisma diagram in a systematic review that you're doing, like a published systematic review, the library will also has, I believe it's under our systematic review guide, which again, I'll send you this, but they have creating a Prisma flow diagram where you can use the Word template to create that Prisma flow diagram.